Hello, Pastor Japie. We did content today and we recorded your second quarter of your series. Today was quite interesting because we did things completely different to before, and it's not because of our preparation, it's because in the middle of getting into the actual production of the content, we changed one of your series to be change it from what was a mildly effective series and something that you wanted to do to your life story. What did you think of that last minute decision? And
I think it was a good decision because it's always good when one can share your personal story. It is not something you have to think about. It is something that naturally flows because it's the life you've lived. And I think it will have an impact when people look at it and see and hear what has happened to me. Similar people can be brought into contact with God. Say what God has done for Japie, He can do for us as well.
the first series that we started with in the last quarter, which is effectively the first quarter of your platform, was the same. Are you still excited about that going forward? And how difficult was it this time to expand on what we've done before?
It was not very difficult. I enjoyed Ministry Monday because I can share from my heart with pastors. Having been a pastor for 40 years, I have lots of experience to share with pastors. And the pastorate can be a very lonely place. And I feel for pastors, and when I see some situations in which pastors find themselves, sometimes through wrong decisions, or sometimes innocently. They have done nothing wrong, but you simply have people who think that they are called or ordained by God to give pastors grief. So that's why I enjoyed the Ministry Monday.
The content today was much easier to do. We spent less time to get almost the same amount of stuff done. Why do you think that was the case today? Because we didn't do a photo shoot today, which broke it up, but the photo shoot didn't take that much time the last time. Why do you think it was easier for us today to create, as a team, creating the content for your second quarter?
I think it was easier because I have had the experience of the first section. So going forward, I think it will even be much shorter because of the fact that I'm becoming used to dealing with these issues.
How easy and fun was it working with, which is essentially the same team, but with a team that you got to know now? You know our history, we're a little bit more familiar with each other. What was your experience with that?
I had a wonderful experience because I think you're very professional. You guys are very professional and respectful in dealing with people. Even if I do things wrong, you reprimand me, but you do it with dignity. And that I appreciated, the way you work with me.
We've spent a lot of time analyzing the content of the first quarter. You've also learned, I can pick up and I can see that you naturally start to do certain things like replying to the comments that people are paying attention to your inbox, which is very important. And we can see some of the metrics going up, like we can see the views, a lot of shares, especially on the ministry content. What have you picked up, and how do you experience getting behind the veil and starting to see things that as a pastor don't normally know about, or can analyze himself in our time together, starting to see the things that matter and that makes your platform successful?
I think it has been an eye-opener for me to come to the realization that other people look at you from different angles. and they have been given the space on social media to speak their mind. And I had to listen, to hear, and to understand them, and to respectfully reply to their comments, because what they are saying is well meant. And that is why I think it has been a wonderful time.
What have you learned in being able to assess what people think about the subjects that you've been talking about? And how does that influence your view at all? Does it influence your delivery? Does it influence your thoughts? In most of these platforms being double-sided, in the sense that people can now connect with you and share with you what they feel about what you're saying.
I think it has been good to get responses from the public. Some of it was critical, in which they inboxed me, particularly on the issue of euthanasia. I received something from a friend in Sweden, and he was asking critical questions as to the fact that I simplistically talked about euthanasia, and I have not taken into account what has happened in Nazi Germany, and that I should be careful in creating the whole perception of euthanasia as simply mercy killing. Because it's not only simply mercy killing. I mean, Jews were killed in the Nazi concentration camp. It was not because of love, it was because of hatred. So that was a very interesting and thought-provoking comment that he has given me. And many others gave me food for thought. But what I also discovered is the unfortunate situation that charismatics and Pentecostals don't want to get involved in controversial issues. And when they get involved, they're very reservedly. Whereas the ministry side of things, they went in boots and all, because it's something they love and it's something they want to do, and it's something that feels safe to do or to say. So that's what I have learned in this process.
We've exchanged your story with Tough Talks. And Tough Talks
Yes.
was, I mean, the feedback that you got, etc. It was successful in what we tried to achieve, but we decided to exchange that. Are you going to miss that? Do you think that your fans are going to miss that going forward?
Not actually, because the replacement is giving them an opportunity to know me well or better, and to understand from where I come, and to connect with the fact, even though I'm a church leader today, I was not born a church leader. I come from humble beginnings, and I come from a broken family. I have been exposed to lots of pain and struggles as a child. I did not have easy teenage years. But through the grace of God, I have been able to arrest the situation and allow God to work through me and be focused on what I want to do and where I want to go. And that's why I am where I am today.
There's been in the business world, there's been recent talks about this concept of overnight success. And your overnight success has been 40 years coming.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk, just share with me how important is it for people to understand where you are today didn't just come overnight, and telling your story will achieve that. And then relating that to this platform, that your experience it's a slow build to what I believe will really explode to big momentum later in this year. Can you bring the two together, and does it make sense to you? And
Yes, it makes absolutely sense to me. Somebody once remarked in the slogan, he said, a lot of people see the glory, but they don't know the story. And with what we have done today is by telling the story, by allowing people into a private space, so that at least they can hear, they can see, they can know that I am just an ordinary human being with struggles and pain and experiences similar to theirs. And what carried me through is the grace of God. And it's only grace. If it was not for the grace of God, I would never have been where I am today. I should never have experienced the favors that I have experienced. And that is the telling of my story, is to help people to understand it is possible for them also to reach the stars. They don't have to allow their past to dictate their future. It doesn't matter how broken your past was, you can have a splendid future. And that's the essence of the story I wanted to convey to them.
It's about almost 10 o'clock right now, and you had a long day. You started at 3 this morning. But I was surprised. I wouldn't say surprised at you. It's just when I got here at 4 o'clock, our appointment was 4 o'clock, you were here at 4 o'clock. You were ready, you were waiting, you had already made notes, etc. Why do you think it's important for a pastor not only to buy into his own platform, but also to sacrifice what is essentially, I mean, you could have said, listen, Ivan, let's do this next week or tomorrow, or but for you to put in the time and sacrificing effort and time, because the pastors that I work with, they hustle through the day and they work really hard. My team has seen that over the past couple of months. People like you really pushing through, and it's a long day. And why is it important for you to do this and to push through and to see that this is a success and you're still going strong and putting the energy into it?
I think the problem or the advantage is the fact that I'm wired that way. If I made a commitment to myself, I want to be there. I drive myself to be disciplined and to be there. No matter how I feel, no matter what, something terribly must happen before I can say, please excuse me, this and that. But I made a commitment with you, and I made a commitment with myself. And secondly, I respect you too much to drop you at the last moment. And because you treat me with respect, I feel that respect is reciprocal. And that is the reason why I have come early and I've come to be here and made the arrangements to meet you here, because I respect you.
Okay. That's it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, team, and thank you, Pastor Japie.
Okay, thank you.